Anyway, I'm so embarrassed. Anyways, we're here for another film breakdown. I actually just watched this game last night doing the Ashton Genty film breakdown. Today we're doing Jabbar Muhammad. Um, Jabbar, I think, had, aside from like the Will Johnsons and the um, Travis Hunters of the world, I would say Jabbar coming into this year had like the most hype in terms of cornerbacks in the country. And I don't think he had a bad year. I just don't. He didn't have like that like prolific interception season or anything like that, and he kind of fell down. Ow, fuck! Kind of fell down big boards, but he's still. I think he's still a very very dynamic cornerback. So we're gonna watch two games of his. What angle do we want here? No, that's horrible. Uh, 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 uh. Too much of me. All right. Funny to me that Boise State's first play of this game was a running play, not to Ashton Genty. Whose idea was that? Jabbar as a run defender, not great because he's not like the most sound tackler in the world. But I don't, if you're a boundary corner, I'm sorry, I don't care too much about your run defense. Gets screened, but comes back, helps his teammate make a play, get a tackle. I can't tell if that was for a loss, but him and Brandon Johnson closed in on the receiver, made a play. So this looks like just going in the flat. Let's redo this. Motions his man. Just a shallow crosser. Jabbar does a great job to close the gap and not prevent any real gain. Good job of changing direction when he realized the ball was out and it was going to the other receiver. Changed direction, dropped his assignment, and went to force the receiver out of bounds. Man coverage here. Again, forces a receiver that wasn't his man out of bounds. Does well to stay with it here. I wouldn't say he shed a block. He kind of just stuck with it long enough. Um, and I mean, he prevented a touchdown, I guess. Got burned there. Got burned there. Right here is where 9 cuts, and there's no help, and Jabbar just he does well. He just I think he took one or too many steps in his rotation to get out into his sprint. Yeah, he kind of has not hesitated, but he just it's the difference is so slim between making a play on that or not. I don't even know if there was a play to make based on the coverage they had. If he was playing press coverage, I would be more inclined to say that he could have made a play. But he was already overcorrecting. Great play. Great play to prevent himself from getting stacked. Force uses the boundary as his friend, forces the receiver to basically be out of bounds. And then when the quarterback tries to throw inside shoulder, Jabbar Muhammad is the one with the better chance at making a play. And he almost came away with it. But you'll take that every time. This is a corner route. Top of your screen, that's where Jabbar is. Corner route by the receiver. This is press man coverage. Jabbar stays. Actually, no, that wasn't a corner route. He faked it. But regardless, Jabbar stayed with him stride for stride. Takes away a crosser here. Some mesh concept. Completely takes it away. And it was an inaccurate ball, but even if it was accurate, it was probably a pick, actually. So, great coverage there. Very sticky. Muhammad gets involved in the run game there. 7 right there. Just halts any forward momentum to end the play. Better run defender than I thought he was so far in this game. Forces a bobble. Despite not really getting his head around, he never got his head around and he began to stumble there. And luckily just him being there and his presence, he was sticky enough to force a bobble and the receiver couldn't make a play. But Muhammad never got his head around. You see the ball's at the top here, right here. And Muhammad is still facing the receiver, trying to recover. Ball's kind of underthrown. If this ball is perfectly placed, it's probably a completion. Underthrown, and the receiver doesn't show late hands. Important. Late hands are very important. So Muhammad sees that and kind of just threw his arm up. That's a great play. Top of your screen, covering 81, just deflects the pass. I mean, the ability to stay with his man, pretty impressive. Seems that the arrow keeps going to Taishim Johnson, so I'm not going to pay that any mind. I'll have to find Jabbar myself. He's at the bottom of the screen against Jeremiah Smith. Jabbar gets involved in the run game there for a solo tackle. That's impressive. Bottom of your screen here. Great job in zone coverage. Force an incompletion. This stout little goal line stand. Look at Jabbar. That's more so Kobe Savage, but good tackle by Muhammad just to kind of prevent even more yards from coming out of the play. Top of your screen. He's the very top cornerback in the screen. Look at how much he moves up and down and up and down. Finally surrendering a gain of about 3. All right, Muhammad gets burned here by Jeremiah Smith, but who doesn't? Ball underthrown. Muhammad never really got his head turned around, so he kind of just got thrown to the side a little bit. It'll happen against Jeremiah Smith, but you would like to see Muhammad be able to get his head around a bit more consistently. Jeremiah Smith's kind of slipped there, but I still like Muhammad. Muhammad is significantly smaller than Jeremiah Smith, and they're asking him to basically go one-on-one with him this whole game. And he's holding up. Outside of a few plays, he's holding up. Muhammad does what he can there to just. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is like a cyborg, so a guy of Jabbar Muhammad's stature, I'm not going to expect him to tackle him, but at least he stalls the play, stops the play really. All right, so this is that ever so important last drive of the game. As an Oregon fan, this kind of gives me chills. I know the end result of the season isn't really like it didn't. It doesn't matter because they got thrashed, but still, games like these are important to a school without really any winning success. And Ohio State had it in the bag. They had it in the bag. That was the push off, the infamous push off that Ohio State fans were mad about for some reason when he clearly extended and pushed off. I don't understand what there was to be mad about. Great closing speed to close down on the target, get his hand in there, pass breakup. Great job, Jabbar. And the infamous doesn't get down quick enough. Ah, sorry, I was like reminiscing there because when the Rose Bowl came around, Oregon got thrashed. So I gotta remember something. But that's the Jabbar Muhammad film breakdown. A couple things I'll point out. He needs to do better to get his head around to see the ball come in. He is fooled by. He can be susceptible to late hands. We didn't really see it there, um, but he relies too hard on looking at the receiver, and when the receiver goes up, if he can't get his head around to the ball, he just puts his arm in there. Um, he is a much better run defender than I thought. I have no concerns about him as a run defender. I'm not asking him to be like a stout like Mike linebacker. Just don't get mowed over every play. He does that. Um, he has such an instinct for getting his hand on the football in man and zone, and he has great closing speed over the top end zone. So I like him a lot. He's definitely a top 4 or 5 cornerback in the class for me. I don't really know where in that range, but he's a good player. I like him a lot, and that's not me being biased, okay? But thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I will see you next time.